Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, Happy New Year! You're watching AMS Live, my name is Boy and this is the Polderbaan. At the moment the only runway being used for for departures and also arrivals of firefighters. One of the three leading the pack. And the other two following suit. Right, Polderbaan at the moment, the only runway being used for departures, and we've got traffic coming this way. Let's have a quick look at the weather first. As you guys can see, we have quite a bit of wind today. It's actually quite cold out here. Temperature is 1 degree above zero and the wind is 17 knots, so it does feel pretty chilly. Broken clouds at 1500 feet below the ceiling, 10 plus kilometers of visibility, and it's the north-south runways that are being used. Center and right are being used for arrivals. We are standing over here at the beginning of the Polderbaan, currently the only runway being used for departures. Good morning everybody who has tuned in already, hope you're doing well. Our first airplane to arrive, interestingly, is a Boeing 737 MAX 9 from Corendon, which will be going to Kittilä. Apparently not grounded. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm counting 7 airplanes coming this way already. That's just my little snippet of the taxi area between Center and Polderbaan. Evelien, Eva, Wolfie, Martijn, Lana, Erin, JD, Jurg, Malcolm, good morning, one and all. Marja, goedemorgen. Mr. Blue Sky, Dale, Ewald, Leo, Mario, Morgan. Right, MAX 9, not grounded. On its way to Kittilä. You can definitely see crosswind from the right. The airplane now pointing directly away from us while moving a little bit to the left. Crabbing out, so to speak. It is rather windy. Wind from the northeast, cold wind, Arctic wind blowing this way. And Lufthansa up next. Rather steep climb compared with the previous airplane. The next one ready to go. Embraer 175 KLM flight 1515 outbound Norwich. 6 years old, first flight January 2017 and already on the move. Wow. Looks like we'll also be seeing a 737 take off. Firefighters have returned to the station. And A777 is spooling up, ready to go to Paramaribo. KLM flight 713 777-300ER. Right, well, just missed big spray. Ah, there it goes again. They always be testing their equipment after the patrol round, and today is like any other. Meanwhile, over at the runway threshold, the next airplane is waiting for clearance, which seems to have just been given. EasyJet A319 going to Prague. This airplane, 14 years old, first flight March 2009. Another steep climber. We'll quickly turn back. And it seems that Cargolux is now also being used for arrivals, which wasn't the case yet just before going live, so I have to update the ticker then. E2 Embraer 195 KLM flight 1619 going to Milan is waiting to get clearance, which it has been given now. Right. In the meantime, Big Al, thank you so much for your continued support. Good morning, legend. First one of many made. Well, thank you so much for your continued support there, Big Al. 4 months of membership already. Time flies when you're having fun. Hope that you are going to stay a valued member for many more months to come, and if not a member, then at least a frequent visitor. Happy New Year to each and every one who has joined in the meantime. This is Transavia flight 5355 going to Faro in Portugal. Right, so what's it look like? It's beginning to get light again over here. Overcast conditions. More or less, does look like a little bit of openings. Yeah, might get some more open weather type later in the morning, later in the day. The wind is coming from this direction, the northeast. Really struggling to keep my hands warm. It's really, oh, that's the bird controller. Doing a little patrol round. Also using the sound effects board just now. Right. Now, it does seem that they have changed runway usage a little bit. So airplanes land on runway 24 just now, so let's have another look at runway usage then. At the moment, what is it? Let's do a refresh. Okay, parallel departures and arrivals on runway 24 right now. Okay. Let's go back to the ticker then and change that. The Departures 36 left and 36C. And arrivals on 06. Alrighty. Good morning, Evan. Good to see you again. It's been a while. We've had a little bit of shitty weather over here. And today it's not so shitty in the precipitation sense. It's just a bit shitty in the temperature and wind sense. But it's better than what it was before. Right. Now, runway inspection was in progress. It does look like there is an A330neo to New York JFK that will be coming this way. Right. Lana asks if I'm standing near a waterfall. I am actually. Man-made waterfall. This is what you are picking up on the mic. It's right across from where I'm standing. I think maybe 10 or so meters away, 30 feet. Bird controller over there in the distance is still doing the runway inspection. So it does look like the A330neo Delta Airlines Flight 47 is at the area of the platform where the de-icing takes place. Not sure. Temperature should be above zero, just about. Don't see any indications, nor did I see that anywhere underway coming here that it has been below zero. Bird controller now all the way on the far side, the north side of the runway. Captain Eddie Boss, good morning. Good to see you again. All other viewers who have joined in the meantime as well, good morning. Welcome to the show. It is a day of departures with wind blowing from the northeast. We're waiting for the next airplane to come this way. Somewhere over there they are getting de-iced Delta Flight 47 and 57 to JFK and Salt Lake City respectively. JD asks if there was a bird strike during last takeoffs. Not sure. Don't see the bird controller anymore on the runway, at least not. There are no flashing lights over there. But you never know over here. A lot of birds always in the vicinity, so might well have been a bird strike somewhere over there, but not where the bird controller was just now, probably. And 8 months already. Evan continued membership, one of the first members. Thank you so much for your continued support there, Evan. And Evan says, gonna start drive in about an hour. Hashtag Lurker Lounge. Well, lurker lounge or not, it's always good to have you on the stream, mate. Thanks for your continued support and looking forward to seeing you for many more months to come. If not as a member, then at least as a visitor. So it looks like the first departure will take place from center, Embraer 190 from KLM. Going to Krakow in Poland. Right, next up should be a Transavia 737 to Alicante, also taking off from center. There it is. Right, the Deltas are on the move. Not sure if there are any other airplanes preceding them that will come to the Polderbaan as well, but at least these two are on the move now. They have to go around the runway, of course, because center is now also being used for departures. So it's going to take a few more minutes. Now, thank you so much, Dave, for your super chat. No text along with it, but thank you so much for that, Dave. Good to see you again. And all other viewers as well, welcome to the show. It is the first stream of the year. Bit chilly, bit windy. Wind from the northeast for a change instead of from the southwest or south. Right, there are two Embraer 190s preceding the two A330 Neos from Delta. More Embraer 190s coming this way. Where are they? Now, just the one now lined up on the threshold of center going to Brussels. Ah, Andean! Tuning in via the account of his uncle, Captain Eddie Bos. Good to see you again. Hope all is well over there in Indonesia. More Embraer 190s, this one going to Brussels, short flight. Still always a bit surprised to see that airplanes are flying on such short routes. Düsseldorf, Brussels. You can see it goes into the clouds almost. There's definitely some more openings in the sky further to the north, which I think are coming this way eventually. Also in the direction of the wind, more or less. Does look a bit more open if you look to the horizon. Alright. Evelyn says that the A321 from Transavia will take off around 12:50. The question is, where is it going to go to? If it is parallel departures around that time and the destination lies to the east, it's probably going to take off from the center runway or whatever other runway is in use at the moment. Alrighty. The first of two Embraer 190s is coming this way. KLM flight 1545, destination Leeds. A second one will be turning around the corner any moment now. We'll be flying to Cardiff? I think Cardiff? Yeah, Cardiff. Hadi Afrodite, goedemorgen. Happy New Year to you and to all other viewers who have joined in the meantime. The Embraer 190 from German Airways, flying for KLM still. And the second one is a regular KLM Embraer 190. The two Delta A330 Neos will also be coming soon. First one is going to be Delta Airlines flight 47 to New York JFK. The second one is flight 57 to Salt Lake City. There's the first Delta A330 in the background. Alrighty. This is KLM flight 1545, German Airways flying for KLM, going to Leeds, Embraer 190, 17 years old, first flight January 2007. Right, well, the second one is also coming to the entrance of the runway that we are standing in line with. KLM flight 1059 going to Cardiff. Embraer 190. 10 years old, first flight January 2014. The Delta A330 just behind it in the background. All right. Delta A330 Neo time. 2 back-to-back. The first one is making its way to the runway threshold. The second one is coming this way. Alrighty. This is Delta Airlines Flight 47, Airbus A330 Neo, destination New York JFK. An airplane that is 2 years old, first flight April 2021. Up next, Delta Airlines Flight 57. We had 47 just now, this is 57, another Airbus A330 Neo going to Salt Lake City. This airplane, 4 years old, first flight May 2019. Alrighty. Our next airplane is moving to the runway threshold. It is a KLM Embraer 190 going to Bremen. A very warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, Linus Pettersen. Thank you so much for choosing AMS Live. Hope you like it in the lounge. Thank you so much for your support there. Alrighty, this is KLM flight 1753 going to Bremen, Embraer 190, 14 years old, first flight October 2009. More Embraers are coming, and Embraer 175 to Newcastle will be next. Right, this is KLM flight 961, Embraer 175, destination Newcastle, 5-year-old airplane, first flight April 2018. And you guys are referring to my camera getting a bit noisy. It's an issue I've been having for a while now. It seems to be getting worse. Probably the zoom mechanism that is getting defective or something, I don't know. I inquired about it and it would have to be sent to Canon to get fixed, so that's probably costly and time consuming, probably going to mean losing the camera for a couple of weeks. So something I try to postpone as long as possible, but it is annoying. I've heard it as well. It seems to be related to zooming in and zooming out. Right, now everybody can clearly see what airplane type this is. It is an E2 Embraer 195. Look at those engines, you can see through them if there is no bird controller photobombing. KLM flight 1779 going to Hamburg. This E2, 2 years old, first flight March 2021. Maria says it's too cold for the camera. That might well be the case. It's also too cold for my hands. It's really hard to keep them warm despite using hand warmers and heated gloves. I think that is the wind. And again, it is remarkable when you listen to them spool up how quiet they are. At least I keep thinking, when are you going to go to full thrust? But they have been going to full thrust then at that stage already. You can see the airplane pointing a bit to the right. We have crosswind today. Wind is blowing from the northeast, so the camera is really making a lot of noise when I'm using the fast zoom. Not so much, I think, when you're using the slow zoom, but then it takes forever to zoom into the vehicle of the bird controller. Setting off fireworks further north to chase away birds. And Peter K, thank you so much for your continued support, celebrating 3 months of membership. And Peter writes, MS Live #1, great job boy as always. Thank you so much for your continued support, Peter, and thank you for your kind words. I'm doing the best I can. I've also been looking into maybe upgrading the voice over mic system at some point. It keeps getting tinny now and then. Rebooting the DJI mic seems to resolve it, but I'm not sure if it keeps coming back. Maybe it has to do with the 2.4 gigahertz frequency that the wireless is on. Unfortunately, you cannot tune the frequency. You can with a bit more expensive kit. Standard is UHF. And then the transmitters are often also tunable, so you can set the frequency. You can scan for which frequencies are occupied in your vicinity and then choose one that is available, that isn't occupied already. Thinking maybe that is better for the sound quality. And good morning to Nicholas and to Donna, who is sleeping but for sure wishes you Happy New Year as well. Thank you so much, Nicholas. Say hello to Donna when she wakes up. All other viewers who have joined in the meantime as well, good morning, Happy New Year. Now, heavy's time. This is KLM flight 741. It is a 787-10 Dreamliner. Will be going to Bogota in Colombia. This airplane began flying in August of the year 2020, meaning it is 3 years old. Shut it. It seems to be unrelated to zooming in or out. Quite annoying. Right, Shamrock Flight 613 going to Dublin in a few moments. Airbus A320-200, 19 years old, first flight June 2004. Right, whoa. There are birds above the water. There are also some people over there to the north at the Spottersplatz and also on the cycling path walking further north. It does look like Harry the Heron is over there in the water. And we also have another takeoff from an Embraer 190. And birds in the vicinity, as you guys could see. This is KLM flight 1917 going to Gdansk. Also a couple of geese, I think. Air France, probably off to Paris. Yeah, A321 off to Paris. And in the meantime, two airplanes coming this way. A 737-700 going to Manchester and an A319 going to London Luton. Now, seems to be related to using the high speed zoom. Now, also a big thank you to JD, who just now gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much for that, JD. If that was in celebration of 200 likes, thank you all so much for the support, and thank you, JD, for those gifted memberships. If you are one of the recipients of the memberships that JD just now gifted, don't forget to say Dankeschön. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those 5 new members. Big birds are in the background coming this way. You can see KLM flight 601 going to LAX is coming this way. This is KLM flight 1073, Boeing 737-700 going to Manchester, 14-year-old airplane, first flight March 2009. And the A319 will also be taking off from this entrance to the runway. Right, EasyJet flight 22512 going to London Luton, Airbus A319, 17 years old, first flight April 2006. Father Norman, good to see you again. Hope all is well. Happy New Year to you too. Alright, gear up. Yep. Now, the next airplane to take off is this Embraer 175, KLM flight 1179. Going to Linköping. Right. Next up, KLM flight 601, Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner going to LAX. This airplane 4 years old. Its first flight was in November 2019 and it is going already. Right. Now. First of all, a big thank you to Simon for a super sticker with per character jumping up and down saying #1 fan. En Simon says bijdrage voor je reparatie van je camera. Thank you so much, Simon. It will mean probably not being able to stream for a prolonged period of time. I think it is going to probably take some time to bring it in. That is something I am not too happy about, but thank you so much for that, Simon. Now, no time to waste. Got another departure taking place, 737. to Helsinki, flight 1167 from KLM. 737-800, 4 years old, first flight December 2019. We'll have to wait a little bit for the next traffic to come this way, which gives me time to scroll down. Say servus to Austrian Wolf, good morning my friend, and also a big thank you to Hans, who just now gifted 10 memberships. Thank you so much for that, Hans. If you are one of the recipients of Hans's gifted memberships, don't forget to say thank you. Hans, thank you so much for that, and welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those 10 new members. Ooh, holy moly. It is a bit chilly over here. Let's have another look at the meter, see what's changed. Runway usage, while we are at it, also let's have another look. Runway usage is still the same. Let's do a refresh of the meter. It says it is still 1 degree above zero. And wind is 16 knots from 060 degrees. So that definitely makes for a bit of cool weather over here. Let me paste that into the ticker. Alrighty. Quickly the heated glove back on. Already losing feeling in the hand that I just took out of the glove. Right. Now, Air Baltic coming this way. Flight 618 going to Riga. Airbus A380-300, 1 year old, first flight February 2022. And a white-nosed Embraer behind it. What's the Air Baltic going to do? It will be taking off. Well, Michael, you're right. I gotta know how to stay warm, but when I'm skiing, I'm actually physically active, and then the blood circulation keeps you warm so much more easily than when you're standing still, being fully exposed to the wind as I am right now. That's a big difference. Plus, when you're on the slopes, you can also go into a lift every now and then, and nowadays the cabin ones even have heated seats, and the chairlifts often have bubbles so that you can sit covered from the wind. Now, where's the bubble over here? I want my bubble. Oh. 4 weeks from now to the day is when my skiing holiday will begin, or at least the first day on the slopes. Now, hopefully it's going to go without any issues. Because last week in the gym I accidentally injured myself, bruised a rib, did the back belt squat, but I think the belt was accidentally a bit too high. And to make matters worse, yesterday I tried fixing a squeaky clutch pedal from my car. Tried to lubricate it. I think it's a matter of applying a bit of WD-40 at the right place. So I tried to do that yesterday. You can imagine you have to crouch down, lay on your side, rest the weight of your upper body on the Had us down in there for a minute. Embraer 175 going to Stavanger flight 1199. Alrighty. Vueling A320neo going to Santiago. Up next. 5 years old already, this airplane. Right, more departures from right in front of us. Another 737 from KLM going to Aberdeen. Flight 1443, an 800 that is 23 years old already. This airplane began flying in April of the year 2000. Anyway, that is something I shouldn't have been doing yesterday. Lying on my side with the weight of my upper body on the right side, where I also injured that rib. So was in immense pain yesterday. Did not have the best of nights this night. Woke up each time I tried to turn around in bed. But I think it should be okay in 4 weeks from now if I don't do anything stupid on top of what I did yesterday. And Michael asked where I'm going to. I will be going to Canazzei, which is in Val di Fassa in Italy. It's one of the 4 areas that is adjacent to the Sella Ronda, the Sella Massif, where you can ski around the Sella Ronda, which you probably have heard of. part of the UNESCO World Heritage, that part of the Dolomites. Beautiful nature. They're getting some fresh snow as we speak. This is the United Airlines Flight 71, 777-200 going to Newark. This airplane began flying in October 1999, 24 years old. And Ross, good morning to you too. Happy New Year, good to see you again. Indeed, Aphrodite, bruised rib. So, sneezing, out of the question. I have to suppress it. Coughing, same. Have to remember that within the next hour I should take my next dose of paracetamol and ibuprofen. Keep a constant level in my blood to keep moving as normal as possible. That's the quickest way to get over it. Now it is opening up a little bit, as you guys can see. Definitely some spots of blue sky here and there. And our next airplane is already on its way. Let's see, what is it? It is another Dreamliner 787-10 going to San Francisco, KLM flight 605. And Marco, thank you so much for your super chat. Thank you very much. He writes, beterschap boy, ik had 4 maanden last van mijn ribben. All the best boy, I had issues with my ribs for 4 months. Well, I hope I will do better than that, because otherwise I will have a bad skiing trip in 4 weeks from now. But I think looking at what I can already do today compared with yesterday, the night of sleep did me well. It's just a matter of taking it easy long enough. And Linus says, is it cold outside? We have minus 19 degrees. Well, it sure is cold. I'm trying to do a bit of jumping jacks insofar as I can do that to stay warm. Temperature just above 0, but we have a 16 knot wind, which does make the subjective temperature quite cold. But it's not as cold as in Scandinavia right now, that's for sure. Alrighty. KLM flight 605, 787-10 Dreamliner going to San Francisco. A 3-year-old airplane, first flight May 2020. Let's go! Evelyn asks, when will we get the setup tour? I'm not sure that people want to see the bricks I'm using. Alrighty. It doesn't seem to be... It seems to be continuous until it stops at some random moment, seemingly random moment. The next airplane is moving to the runway threshold. Gives me time to go to the laptop. Say a big thank you to JD, who just now gifted another 5 memberships. 300 likes. Thank you all so much. If you are liking what you're seeing so far and you haven't done so already, don't forget to add another like to the pond. If you are one of the 5 recipients of JD's gifted memberships, don't forget to say Dankeschön. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Thought I heard a siren or something, but... And also Jens, thank you so much for just now becoming a member. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Hope you guys have fun in the lounge. Don't forget to use the custom emojis that are at your disposal. Embraer 192 Billund. Taking to the sky. KLM flight 1343. 5 years old, this airplane. First flight February 2018. Quite high in the sky already. And the next 2 airplanes coming this way. The second Air Baltic. If I recall correctly, there was also a special livery going out. The Lithuanian flag, if I recall correctly. That's the Rasta one. Not sure if it has already taken off from center or if we're going to see it take off from Polderbaan. That's 2 out of 3 at least for today. And a 737 as well. Going to Oslo, 737-900. Now the Air Baltic is going to the runway threshold. And the 737 is doing the same. There's another Dreamliner coming this way. Zensi also has arrived. Is that you guys? Or maybe not. Alright, Air Baltic, flight 858 going to Tallinn. Okay, Aphrodite says, cannot find a special livery of Air Baltic on Flight Radar. I thought I saw it in the list of departures this morning. Either way, that was the second Air Baltic that we saw just now, and up next is KLM flight 1143 going to Oslo. It is a 737-900. And hey Han, goedemorgen, Happy New Year buddy. Norbert, good morning. All other viewers, Daniel, goedemorgen. Regular 737-900. Interestingly, we also saw a MAX 9 this morning from Corendon that wasn't grounded and just took off. Which to me is interesting, because you would think that it doesn't matter on what continent the airplane is flying. If it is the same type, why not ground them all? Stupid noisy bugger. Alrighty. KLM flight 661 going to Houston. Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. First flight June 2016, making this airplane 7 years old. Hello. Alrighty, the next airplane coming this way is KLM flight 1485 going to Humberside. It is another Embraer 190. Camera noise is getting worse. Apologies for that. Now, quite a few heavies are on the move already. Does look like the exodus to the United States and North and South America is going to commence in several minutes. Now it's even making noise when I'm not using the zoom. Right. So again, KLM flight 1485, Embraer 190 going to Humberside, 14-year-old airplane. First flight July 2009. Definitely not too heavy loaded. Rotating quickly. Climbing quite steeply. As you guys can see. Zo, goedemorgen.
Ja, wij doen ook vliegtuigspotten.
Ja, leuk.
Wij volgen nu ook bij ons in Amsterdam.
Ah, leuk. Nou, welkom. Jullie komen uit België zo te horen, of niet?
Ja, wij doen dat. Over een paar maanden zaten we in Londen Heathrow.
Oh, leuk.
Er is ook zo'n meneer.
Ja?
Bigjet.
Bigjet TV, ja.
Die hebben we ook gezien.
Oh, leuk. Die staat altijd op zijn busje, hè?
Ja.
Precies.
Maar nu zagen we, ja, die hebben daarin staan.
Ja.
Maar ja.
En je kan hier met de auto parkeren vlak voor de borden.
Een kleine stadzaal dat ze van Antwerpen gekomen.
Oh ja.
Er staan winterbanden op. Ja, maar we waren aan het zoeken.
Ja.
Ik zeg, jij wordt aan het filmen daar ook. Ik zeg, en dan zat ik daar.
Ja.
Dan ga je hier staan.
Nee, je moet hier inderdaad zijn voor de starts. Als je hier startte, dan sta je hier, en zeker hier sta je in lijn met die eerste entree, zou ik maar zeggen.
Heel een paar jaar tijd.
Ja.
Over een paar jaar en 3 hebben we op de Pelikaanweg gestaan. Heel mooie foto's getrokken. Dat vliegtuig,
Ja.
die waaide naar ons.
Ja.
Perfect. Maar dat is ook allemaal weg, hè.
Hier zwaaien ze ook af en toe nog wel eens. Zeker als ze hier naar voren komen en ze komen al direct naar je toe. Maar het is, het is anders geworden inderdaad, absoluut.
Ik heb hier even momenteel ruzie op Facebook met een zekere Maria Roels.
Oh,
En die woont in Den Haag.
oké.
Je kent de vlieghaven bij ons in Antwerpen?
Niet heel goed.
Ja, maar vlieghaven Deurne.
Ja?
Daar komt dan een toei geland.
Ja.
Op die vis. En zij, de harde groep,
Ja.
de rood, moet heel de vlieghaven plat liggen voor groen. Ik geloof ook dat die dame is. 28 jaar.
Oké. Ja, het is wat hè, met mensen af en toe. Right, our next airplane has arrived in the meantime. This is EasyJet flight 22162 going to Manchester. A320, 8 years old, first flight June 2015. Well, the wind is definitely not slowing down, I can tell you that. It is still pretty windy over here. Quite a few ripples in water, and also if you look in the distance, the smoke is still leaving the chimney more horizontally than vertically. We have an A330 coming up this time round, going to Miami. KLM flight 627. And hey Wendy, goedemorgen. Blue sky and sun in Heerenveen in the north of the Netherlands. Happy New Year to you too, Wendy. Good to see you again. And Ross asks, what are the 4 identical buildings to the right of the tower? I think these are office buildings actually, Ross. They are, well, you have the Sheraton Hotel in front of the tower, and I think these are office buildings actually. I think, yeah, most likely office buildings. Man, this is annoying. Apologies for the sound. Not doing anything and it still keeps making that noise. Let's zoom in a little bit, see, yeah. Right. 777 taking off from center. Going to Zanzibar, KLM flight 515, 777-300 ER, 11 years old, first flight June 2012. Right. The Airbus A330-200. And if my camera shuts up, we might be able to hear the APU even, which I think you can hear. Right, so this is KLM flight 627, Airbus A330-200 going to Miami, Florida. This airplane is 17 years old. Its first flight was in April 2006. Aphrodite says that the Air Baltic Lithuanian flag to Vilnius is going out 10:50. The question is, will it be taking off from center or from this runway? Previous two took off from this runway, but you never know. And that is the Rasta one, isn't it? Right, well, parallel departures are still in progress. If you just tuned in, welcome to the show. You're watching MS Live. Happy New Year to one and all. We have wind blowing from the northeast today. It's around freezing, just above freezing. 16 knot wind. Parallel departures in progress. Departures to the north with runways 36 left and center, both in use. Our next airplane to take off is going to be from British Airways, going to London Heathrow, Airbus A320, flight 429, a 9-year-old airplane, first flight September 2014. Right, well, there are some big birds coming this way right now. The exodus to the Americas seems to be underway. Delta A330-300 to Atlanta, first of all. Oh, That was the A350 from Singapore, which has a sticker on the back of the livery. I think, if I recall correctly, the 10,000th Airbus. Right, so the A330 from Delta is moving to the runway threshold, and behind it we have the 777 to Quito. KLM Asia. This is Delta Airlines flight 179 going to Atlanta, Georgia. It's an Airbus A330-300, 16 years old, first flight July 2007.
Hoe lang doe je dat nog?
Sorry?
Hoe lang doe je dat nog?
Ik ben hier eind november vorig jaar mee begonnen. Nou, nog niet. Maar ik zou er niet onwelwillend tegenover staan als ik het wel zou kunnen uitgroeien tot een volwaardig beroep. Zeker. Van je hobby een beroep maken, dan heb je het toch mooi gemaakt. Right, Rasta is lining up on center. Right, wow. Right, well, the Rasta Airbus A220 from Air Baltic, where is it? Is it still visible? Only faintly. Another time, this time for the 777-200 to Quito. Up next, KLM flight 755. 17 years old, this airplane. First flight was in February 2006. Right. Now it seems that we have to wait a little bit for the next airplane to arrive, which gives me a few moments to take in some more painkillers, make sure that the level stays adequate in my blood. Let's see. Sit on tunnel. Van de week een rib gekneusd, vandaar. Dus even zorgen dat je de hele dag door genoeg pijnstillingen hebt, dat je gewoon kan door blijven ademen en dat soort dingen. Oh. Ja, dat wordt geleverd op deze unit. Oh, de batterij van mijn handschoen is ook op.
Hoe lang doe je ermee?
Ik red daar denk ik toch wel 8 uur ongeveer mee. Ja, het is... staat het erop? Ik dacht iets van 500 wattuur of zo, zou dat kunnen? Ik weet het niet. Ik kan 2 streams van 4 uur doen en dan heb ik er mijn laptop, mijn camera, mijn telefoon, alles op aangesloten. Ja, ja.
Dat duurt ook maar.
Nou, dat gaat nog best snel. Die lader is best, dat is meestal met 3-4 uur ben je alweer, zit hij alweer vol. Het werkt als een malle. 2 keer 220, een hele berg USB-poorten. Draadloos, als je je telefoon draadloos wil opladen, kan dat ook. Bovenop. Bluetti. Right. Leuk, leuk. Ja, het is... Mensen van de hele wereld die inschakelen. Dat is altijd super leuk. Ja, echt tof. Waarom praat ik Engels? Het meeste publiek is niet Nederlands. The majority of the people doesn't speak Dutch, so if I continue to speak Dutch only, my audience will probably be a lot smaller than it is right now. So that is why. Right, so got my heated glove battery replaced and also a new round of painkillers, and we're waiting for the next departure. Hadi Lans, goedemorgen. Happy New Year, mate. Hope all is well. Right, so we have 2 airplanes over here at the threshold waiting to go. 0 lined up yet. Looking behind me, is there a runway inspection in progress? Not sure, could be. Do see a little light, or did see a little light in the distance. I think it was, yeah, that was indeed a vehicle from the bird controllers. So I think they're holding short. We're holding short because there was a runway inspection going on the other side, the far side. Now, does that also mean that this is once again the only runway for departures? That might also well be. Right. No holding back. This is KLM Flight 1009 going to London Heathrow. Boeing 737-800, 15 years old, first flight March 2008. it is opening up ever so slowly. We started off with being fully overcast over here. You can see bits of blue here and there. There's a woman walking, or man walking the dog. The dog has a big chunk of wood in its beak. And well, parallel departure still very much in progress. And also the Delta A330 flight 133 going to Detroit up next. Is 16 years old. Its first flight was in August 2007. Delta Airlines Flight 133 on its way to Detroit, Michigan. Departures take place to the north. The wind is blowing from the northeast. Temperatures around 0, just above. Got another 777 coming this way from Emirates. And lined up is a 737-800 going to Stockholm in a few moments. This is KLM flight 1109. Is goed, salut! Hey Tiger, good morning. Good to see you. Happy New Year. All other viewers who have joined in the meantime as well, good morning. Happy New Year to you and yours. Chilly start of the year over here at AMS Live. Was the picture of the airplane I accidentally clicked on, and I just wanted to go back to the map on flight radar so that I could click on the next airplane that is lined up right now. This is Emirates flight 146 going to Dubai. It is a 777-300 ER, 12 years old. First flight of this airplane was in November 2011. Now, there's definitely a lot of traffic coming this way. I wouldn't be surprised if Polderbaan, this runway once again, has become the only runway for departures. Will we have time to have a quick look at the website? Let's do that. Or not enough time. Back to the camera. Right. More big birds lining up. Let's try it again, shall we? We were at the METARP website. Let's do a refresh of the weather. So still 1 degree above zero, 15 knot wind from 050 degrees. Let's also copy paste that into the ticker in a moment. If my hands are still able to do that. And let's also do a refresh of runway usage. Okay, so according to LVNL, the Dutch air traffic control website, the runway usage is still the same as it was before. I will update the ticker with the latest meter that I copied just now with some difficulty, because despite using hand warmers and etc., the hands are getting a little bit cold, the fingertips particularly. Hey Paul, Mr. Biker, Happy New Year. Good to see you, my friend. Hope all is well. This is KLM flight 623 going to Atlanta, Georgia, Airbus A330-300. 10 years old. Says it is 10 years old, first flight January 2013, but since it is January 2024, I would think it has turned or will turn 11 in this month. Well, I'm doing alright, Paul. Could be a bit better. Injured my rib, bruised my rib the other day in the gym and accidentally made things worse when trying to lubricate a squeaky clutch pedal lying on my injured side. Only aggravated things yesterday, which is not quite optimal considering in exactly 4 weeks from now I am supposed to be on the ski slopes. But other than that, I'm doing good. Can't complain. Let me just try to paste that meter into the ticker. Assuming I'm not going to do any additional stupid things in the upcoming weeks, I should be good by the time the holiday begins. Right, is that a triple? I think it is a triple landing on runway 06. In the background, there are a couple of airplanes now over here. We have an EasyJet lined up. There is a Dreamliner behind it. There is an SAS behind it. And we have another EasyJet coming this way. EasyJet to Edinburgh is now taking off. A319. Happy New Year. Some belated fireworks to celebrate the new year, courtesy of the bird controllers. Where are they? Apologies for the camera making a lot of noise. I think it needs some lubrication as well. It seems that the low temperatures make things worse. Alright, this is KLM Flight 705 going to Rio de Janeiro, 7879 Dreamliner. This Dreamliner is 7 years old. First flight of this airplane was in September 2016. Richard, goedemorgen from warm and sunny Rotterdam Zuid. Now, another Neo, is that? A320 Neo SAS Flight 556, destination Stockholm. Brand new airplane. First flight of this airplane was in November last year. Also, a lovely bit of lighting here. Hope you guys, yeah, the camera also seems to be picking it up. Actually, the sun might also just be visible. This is SAS Flight 556 A320 Neo going to Stockholm. Right. Quite a few airplanes over here. Got a few heavies. Being preceded by an A320 from EasyJet going to London Luton. We also have some traffic coming this way by the looks of it. And some birds. In spite of all the fireworks that the bird controller just now set off, still around. Not getting deterred by the bird controller's noisy fireworks. This is KLM EasyJet Flight 22514 going to London Luton. 11-year-old A320 that began flying in May 2009. Right, the Embraer is up next. It's Embraer 175 going to Turin. KLM flight 1555. Stop it. Annoying bit of camera. This is KLM flight 777 going to Sint Maarten. Airbus A330. The running gag of KLM is to assign flight numbers of airplane types to flights that are flown on different airplanes than the airplane type the flight number is about. So KLM flight 777 is not being flown by a 777 but an Airbus A330-300. Going to Sint Maarten, the destination we all want to visit someday, if only to do a bit of spotting. Although a nice bit of sunshine and warmth is also welcome. The airplane, 11 years old, first flight March 2012. Now, a big thank you to JD for gifting 5 memberships just now. I see that we have crossed the 500 likes mark. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you JD if you are one of the 5 recipients of the memberships that JD just now gifted. Don't forget to say Dankeschön. This is KLM flight 735 going to Curaçao. Stops. Nature old airplane, first flight February 2015. You can still see wind blowing from the right, from the northeast, as the airplane is crabbing out, leaning in against the wind. I almost don't dare zooming in and out because of the noise the camera is making. The low temperature doesn't seem to be doing it any good. Apologies for the lousy sound quality today. Now also a big thank you to Austrian Wolf, who despite being a very valued moderator and is doing enough to support the channel as it is already, also gifted 5 memberships just now. Thank you so much if you are one of the recipients of Austrian Wolf's memberships. Don't forget to say Dankeschön to Herr Wolf. Thank you so much, Austrian Wolf. And also Marco, who just now also gifted 5 memberships. Dankjewel Marco. If you are one of the recipients of Marco's gifted memberships, don't forget to say dankjewel. Thank you so much for that, Marco. And welcome to all the new AMS Live members of the Aurora Sky Lounge. Feel free to use the custom emojis that are at your disposal whenever you feel like it. Now, thank you all so much for the likes. If you are liking what you're seeing and you haven't done so already, don't forget to drop another like. And make sure to subscribe if you want to stay updated of upcoming live streams. Hitting the bell icon will do just that. Our next airplane is from British Airways. Speedbird flight 41, going to London Gatwick. Airbus A320, 21 years old, first flight July 2002. Climbing steeply. We've got another triple from United up next, but preceding it will be this. Let's see. Electra Airways, but it says MAC going to Tangier. I think it is flying for Royal Air Maroc. Flight 128 going to Tangier in Morocco. A320. This airplane 21 years old, first flight March 2002. So Tiger, thank you so much for your continued support. 4 months of membership already. Doesn't time fly? Thank you so much for your continued support, Tiger, and also for everything that you have been doing so far as a moderator. Tiger and Austrian Wolf are German-speaking moderators. Also habt ihr Fragen und möchtet ihr das auf Deutsch fragen? Tiger74 and Austrian Wolf are at your disposal. Hey Roadhog, long time no see, mate. Happy New Year. Nice of you to join us again. Alrighty, United up next, flight 21 777-200, destination Houston, Texas. En dank je Jens. Not much going on, but I was in the gym earlier this week and I bruised a rib. I did an exercise called the belt squat, which is a squat exercise for your quadriceps, but instead of loading your spine with a barbell with weight on the top of your back, you use a belt that attaches around the lower back, and I think I had the belt a little bit too high. It was like 120 kilos or something loaded on the machine, and I think I bruised my rib. So nothing serious, but a little bit annoying when trying to sleep or when you need to sneeze or cough. I did make it a little worse yesterday when trying to fix my car. And I had to maneuver into a position where I had to lay on the side that was already injured. So that was a bad idea. Not only because I wasn't able to fix the problem, I still have a squeaky pedal, but it also aggravated the rib pain. But I'm pretty sure that it will heal quite well pretty soon if I just take it easy. This was KLM flight 791, by the way, going to Sao Paulo, a 777-300ER. 6 years old, first flight September 2017. Bird controller over here. And behind it we have an A319 from Lufthansa going to Munich. Flight 2302. No, 2303. Michael Walker says, I share your pain, boy. I've done my ribs in, so know where you're coming from. The stupid thing was that it wasn't so bad before I also tried fixing my car, so it was basically that made it worse. But you know how it is. It was a drizzly day yesterday, so I figured, okay, if I'm not going streaming, then at least let me try to fix some stuff, which is a good idea, but with a bad outcome. Alright, another Dreamliner will be taking off next. Already lined up. KLM flight 879. Now don't get confused, it is flight 879, but it is a Boeing 7879 going to Bangalore. The airplane is 6 years old. Its first flight August 2017. And Eva says you can better spot than sport. I disagree. I respectfully disagree, Eva. I'm a gym bro first and foremost, and that is what is going to keep me vibrant and healthy and looking younger than my calendar age in 20 years from now. But I get what you're saying, but it comes with the territory, going to the gym. I've been going now for nearly a quarter of a century. You do get injured now and then, I think in the end I am more fit for it. Than if I hadn't gone to the gym for those many years. And indeed, Ross, no pain, no gain. Rest is best. Wise words from you all. Health is wealth, rest is best. No pain, no gain. Like, comment and subscribe. Right, the bird controller over there. Front row position. Now this one might get loud, and I'm talking the airplane, not about the camera. Delta Airlines Flight 143, Airbus A380-300 going to Seattle, Washington in a few moments. And what do you know? We've seen a couple of Delta A330s take off without any issues. No rejected takeoffs so far today. A good start of the new year in that respect. And hey there, Jonah, who is tuning in from Cork, Ireland. Says, really enjoying the stream this morning. Good luck with the recovery. Thank you so much, Jonah, and thanks for joining us. Glad you're enjoying, and I hope everybody is, of course. Now, really starting to get annoyed by the camera sound. Might have to look into getting it repaired. This is just getting annoying. If it isn't the sound playing up, then it's the camera. Now, I did just now do a little reboot of the DJI mic. Last time, for a big chunk of the stream, the sound of the voiceover was tinny, but I must have missed people notifying me about it. Rebooting the DJI mic always seems to resolve the lack of bass that sometimes occurs. And indeed, Ross, I agree that the little whining sound is infinitely better than when the mic was crackling. That was definitely a bad period in that respect. Ever since upgrading to the Sennheiser MKE 600, that has been resolved, and the audio, the ambient audio, has been much better. Really thrilled with that purchase still. I'm also thinking maybe at some point, if the DJI mic is going to be less reliable, might also consider upgrading the voiceover mic to a more reliable system, hopefully more reliable system. UHF think the first item would be to fix the camera. Have it fixed, I should say. Right, there's an A320neo taking off right now, going to Copenhagen. This is EasyJet flight 27937. Going to Copenhagen, Austrian registered, 1 year old, first flight December 2022. And we have a TUI Max 8 lining up right in front of us over here. Come on. So it does seem to be less susceptible to whining when I use the slow zoom. Going to Fuerteventura. This is TUI flight 601. A Max 8, 2 years old, first flight December 2021. It seems that the next airplane is going to be another A330neo from Delta. Interesting, I think that's the third or fourth that we are seeing today. And I think this is the first time I think we have seen more Neos than regular A330s from Delta. At least did not keep track, but got the feeling that it is. Right, so this is Delta Airlines flight 161 going to Minneapolis, Minnesota. This airplane is a year old and began flying in June 2022. And indeed, Dirk, a Max 8, not the same type as the Max 9 from Alaska Air. However, we did see a Max 9 this morning from Corendon. I think it went to Kittilä, just took off, wasn't grounded, which I was very surprised by. Air Europa up next. The flight to Madrid, flight 1098 7879 Dreamliner. 3 years old, this airplane. First flight February 2020. Now, also, thank you for your super chat, Aphrodite. Definitely not necessary, you're doing more than enough as it is already to support the channel, by being a moderator, but thank you so much, and in celebration of 600 likes, so thank you all so much for showing so much support. Despite the horrible sound effects my camera is making today. Well, I still think it is peculiar that when such a thing occurs with a MAX 9 that they don't ground all of them worldwide until they have found out why it happened. Right, Star Alliance special livery up next. Croatia Airlines will be going to Zagreb. Flight 451, 19 years old, first flight February 2004. Now also a very big thank you to Peter, who just now super chatted and says greetings from the Czech Republic. Peter, thank you so much for your support. Welcome to the show. And quick back to the camera. Here we go. More TUI in a minute. A Dreamliner is also making its way over to the runway threshold, but at this runway threshold we have Finnair up next. Flight 1302, A321, destination Helsinki. 6 years old, this airplane, first flight March 2017. Sure what the wind is doing, but it definitely isn't slowing down. It looks like it is leaving more horizontally from the chimneys than before. That's also my impression. The wind is definitely not slowing down. It seems like it is picking up more likely. Probably have some time to update the METAR after the departure of this airplane. This is TUI flight 375 going to Curaçao, Willemstad, a 787-8 Dreamliner, 9 years old, first flight May 2014. while we're still waiting, that gives me time to say a big thank you to Chris, who just now super chatted a very generous donation to kick off the new mic fund. Thank you so much for that, Chris. Very much appreciated. I think the first repair I need to get done is the camera. That side effect when zooming in or out is very disturbing. But a new voiceover mic eventually might also be necessary. There he goes. But yeah, thanks again, Chris, for a very generous super chat. It will go to good use, that is for sure. If not for a new mic, then maybe first the camera. Right. It is still windy over here. We have wind blowing from the northeast. We're waiting for next traffic to come this way. It does look like there was a Kestrel hanging stationary just above the airfield. Right, next airplane is already coming. Not a lot of time. Let's have a quick look at the current status quo. Runway usage. Let's refresh. Right, so this is once again the only runway being used for departures, and runway 06 and runway 36 right are being used for arrivals. And a refresh of the METAR shows that it is still 1 degree Celsius, just above freezing, 15 knot wind from 050, still quite chilly weather. Copy that METAR. Let me paste it into the ticker for you guys. Also update the runway usage in the ticker. So the runway we are standing next to is the only runway being used for departures right now. 36 left. That makes arrivals take place on 06 and 36 right. Ah, Frank, Happy New Year, buddy. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Lest I forget, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. Big thank you to Ewald for your super sticker. Sunglasses perpetually fall onto video game controllers' proud face. What will they think of next? Thank you so much, Ewald. Very much appreciated. Now, we have a Delta A330-300 going to the runway threshold as we speak. This is Delta Airlines flight 73 going to Atlanta, Georgia. Come on. Right, so I have to zoom in fully to get rid of that sound. Delta Airlines Flight 73 going to Atlanta, Georgia. Airbus A330-300, 16 years old, first flight, August 2007, making it 16 years old. Alright, Maria is signing off. Almost Monday here, time for bed. Thank you for joining, Maria. You take care as well, and I will see you on the next one, undoubtedly. Aphrodite also tuning out. Not having a lot of energy yet. Well, you take care. Said it before. Take good care of yourself. Thanks for joining, Aphrodite, and I will see you on the next one as well then. This is a triple going to Shanghai in a few moments. China Cargo Airlines Flight 218. A 777 freighter, brand new. The first flight of this airplane was in March 2023. And Alibaba returns, Ross says. Have to be careful not to laugh too loud. Okay, now center also being used for departures once again. We have another 787-10 Dreamliner that is going to take off any minute now. This is KLM flight 757 off to Panama City in a few moments. Also a brand new airplane like the triple before it. The first flight of this airplane was in May 2023. The triple's first flight was in March 2023. So both less than a year old. Cheers, Lance! Best microphone sound of any stream made. Engines are for real. Great purchase. That's Sennheiser. Absolutely agree with that. With you on that. Also tweaking the ATEM Mini switcher sound settings to optimize the sound as much as possible. right. JetBlue up next. The A321neo going to Boston, Massachusetts. Flight 632. A 3-year-old airplane. First flight November 2020. Hey there, Barbs. Happy New Year. Good to see you again. I'm pretty sure I'll be up to my old self again pretty soon, as long as I don't do anything stupid to aggravate that rib. Now, JetBlue A321neo already going. Hey Liewe, goedemorgen. Nah? Yeah, still morning. Just 5 minutes left. Happy New Year, buddy. Right, well, you can clearly see things are opening up. More bits of blue in the background. If you compare the big picture overview with what it looked like in the beginning. This is the sound effect board. Predator bird sounds. You can definitely see things are opening up nicely. It's not a bit warmer in spite of it. A319 off to London Heathrow. That was Speedbird Flight 431 off to London Heathrow, Airbus A319, 23 years old, began flying in June 2000. Parallel departures in progress once again. I just had center erased from the ticker and they reopened it a few minutes after that. Means we'll have to wait a little bit for the next traffic to come this way. Is another Delta A330 coming this way, going to New York JFK, and there's also an A330neo at the de-icing area, going to Boston, Massachusetts, and there is a 737 from KLM going to Milan that is now taking off from center. Let's see if we can catch that. There we go. This is KLM flight 1623 going to Milan, 737-800. The PHBCA, 13 years old, first flight November 2010. dankjewel Afrodite. Dat komt helemaal goed. No worries. Right. Now, there should be an EasyJet A319 over there going to London Gatwick coming this way. Not far behind it is the Delta A330-300 to New York JFK. Hey Anna, Happy New Year, good to see you. Right, where is that ITA going to? Ah, the ITA is taking off from center. Okay. The Delta A330 should become visible in the background pretty soon from the right. The friet or patat discussion. Well, I am used to calling it patat, but friet is just as fine to me. I'm not strongly opinionated about whether it should be the one or the other. I think everybody in the Benelux knows what we mean when we're referring to patat or to friet. Hell, even if we say chips, probably most of us will understand. Although chips in the Netherlands does mean something differently from chips in Britain. What we call patat or friet, you guys call chips, and what you guys call crisps, we call chips. And then the question, pineapple on your pizza or not? Han is asking. For sure, absolutely, I like pineapple on my pizza. So what if it is blasphemy? I don't care. I like the taste of it. That's the most important thing to me. Now, Rafal, thank you so much for your super chat. Best regards from Warsaw. Thank you so much, Rafal, and greetings back from windy Amsterdam. And Joke says the image is unsharp. That is probably the resolution settings on your computer, Joke. Maybe the YouTube video went to a lower resolution. You can check with the settings cogwheel, the tandwiel for the instellingen. Often it's on auto and goes to a lower bitrate or a lower resolution. That is 9 out of 10 times the issue, unless you guys are all having unclear, unsharp footage. In which case I don't know what the cause might be, because I have sharp footage over here. Alright, our next airplane has lined up, going to London Gatwick, A319 from EasyJet, flight 28680. 13 years old, first flight January 2011. Alrighty, next up, Delta A330-300 to New York JFK, Delta Airlines Flight 49. This airplane is 19 years old. Its first flight was in February 2004. So if I recall correctly, within the hour the A321neo from Transavia is taking off. Where is it going to? Just to get an idea of the likelihood we are going to see it take off from this runway or not. Oh. Hey there, Chris. Tuning in from snowy Austria. Meanwhile, over here, more bits of blue. We probably are going to see the sun come out from behind the clouds shortly. Another triple is coming this way. Going to Lima, 777-300 ER, KLM flight 743. Alright, Ljubljana. So that doesn't make it a likely candidate for Polderbaan if there are two runways open at that time. It's more likely going to take off from center, then make a right hand turn and fly to the southeast, or maybe first to Germany. Alrighty. Alright, this is KLM flight 743 going to Lima, Peru. 777-300 ER, 6 years old, first flight February 2017. it. Stop it. Damn it. Right, well, moment of truth. In a few moments, it's going to happen. Won't be long, and the sun will come out from behind the clouds over here. In the meantime, our next airplane is also making its way over. Another A330neo going to Boston, Massachusetts, flight 259 from Delta Airlines. A one-year-old airplane. Its first flight was in January 2022. Indeed, hon, time to get out the sunscreen. Run for cover. ITA taking off. Both ITAs from the center runway today. I think the same is going to happen to the Transavia Neo if it's going to go to Ljubljana. General direction similar to the ITAs. Bird controllers today are very keen to get their picture taken, always making sure they are somewhere in the field of view. Behind the Delta A330neo is an Embraer 190 from KLM going to Bergen. KLM flight 1185. More airplanes are coming. En nee, Liewe, geen zonnebrand bij me. Only some water, but that doesn't do a lot of good to protect from the UV rays. But I think I'll manage for the remainder of the duration of today's stream. Now, what's the Embraer going to do? Will it make a right-hand turn? It doesn't look like it. So it too will be taking off from the runway threshold, which means it will have to wait until the A330 has taken off. K2 also wrapping up and continuing on its way. Wherever that might be. And traffic in the background coming this way, 2 more airplanes. Wolfgang says, is your zoom working hydraulically? Yeah, needs some lubrication, I think. It seems that the low temperatures have only made it worse. First it was every now and then, now it's almost continuously. when zooming in and out with the fast zoom. Very annoying. And apologies for the unwanted sound effects. More fireworks, as you guys can probably hear. Alright, now the sun is out finally. This is KLM flight 1185 number 190 going to Bergen in a few moments. After the wake turbulence of the previous airplane has dissipated sufficiently. The airplane we're now watching is 12 years old already, began flying in January 2012. And you're welcome, Aviation Now. Thank you for the kind words. Glad you're enjoying, and I hope everybody is. Of course, if you are enjoying what you're seeing and you haven't done so already, don't forget to drop a like. Our next airplane is going to take off in a few moments. Embraer 190 to Bergen. The other narrow bodies that were taxiing this way have in the meantime arrived and are also going to take off from the runway threshold. You can see them in the background. What a difference it is with the sun out. This is KLM flight 1281 going to Edinburgh in a moment. Boeing 737-800, 23 years old, first flight May 2000. Right. Another Embraer 190 is lined up. KLM flight 1085 going to Cork in a few minutes. 10-year-old airplane, first flight October 2013. Now, Austrian Wolf just now gifted 5 more memberships. Totally uncalled for. You're doing more than enough as it is already as a moderator. Thank you so much, Wolfgang, for 5 new members. If you are one of the recipients of the gifted memberships from Austrian Wolf, don't forget to say Dankeschön, Herr Wolf. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those 5 new members. But really, you shouldn't have. You're doing more than enough as it is already as a moderator, Austrian Wolf. You're going above and beyond right now. Next up, going to Dublin, is this KLM flight 935, a Boeing 737-700, 13 years old, on the go already. First flight January 2010. Now, let's see. Evelyn says A321 Transavia landing now, and behind is the A380. Also celebrating 2 months of membership. Thank you so much, Evelyn, for your continued support. And let's see then if we can spot the A380. Is it landing? Where is it landing? Well, the A321neo is up first. That must be it. Unfortunately, cannot see more of it than this. And surely it's not going to take off to Ljubljana again in half an hour from now. That's probably going to be later. The A380 is not the next one, but the one after it. So this is the airplane following the Neo. And pretty soon we should be able to see the A380 somewhere over there. Right. Can we maybe use slow zoom a little bit? Yeah, that's better. There's a 747 behind it. Let's see if I can quickly enable digital zoom. Allows us to zoom in a bit more. In the meantime, on the left of me, the Play A320, or is that the 21? Neo is also coming to the runway, is going to the runway threshold. Behind it is a 737. Right, digital zoom. current windiness. Looks like would have been better if I also enabled the image stabilizer. Might still do that before the 747 behind it is going to appear. Right, enabled the image stabilizer as well, so hopefully the 747 is a bit less shaky. The Cargolux B744 arriving from Miami, Florida. That does look a bit better than with the A380 before it. Well, spoke too soon. Oh, it's going around, or is it? Yeah, it's going around. Why is that? Right, Cargolux 747 going around. Don't know why. A380 on runway, yeah, probably. The first go around of the day, indeed, Dirk. A tele go around. Right, well, first go around of the day. In the meantime, we missed the departure of the play A321 Neo, I believe it was, over here, and another airplane behind it. Right now there is another 737 coming this way. There is a triple lining up on center going to Nairobi. All right. Now my hand warmer has just died on me. See if I can put on the heated glove then instead. Alrighty, the 777 to Nairobi should be coming in picture quite soon. There it is already. Oh, with the image stabilizer on, it's a bit more wobbly. KLM flight 565, this is going to Nairobi, 777-300 ER. 12-year-old airplane, first flight January 2011. Right, time to disengage the digital zoom once again. And only is necessary for things really far away. There we go. Hey there Cameron, who is tuning in from Glasgow, just found this channel, he writes, and subscribed right away. I'm glad you're liking what you're seeing here, Cameron. Thank you so much for the support. I hope everybody is of course liking what they're seeing. Over here we have KLM flight 1475 going to Glasgow. Years old. The first flight of this airplane was in April of the year 2008. Now you can see there is still wind blowing from the east. They're taking off to the north. All morning we've been having northeastern wind, Arctic wind blowing into the Netherlands, cold wind. Temperature has been around freezing, just above freezing all morning already, and wind has been upwards of 10 knots all the time. Quite cold actually. Also wondering until when I am going to stay out here. Where is that 747 that just went around? It is getting a little bit more quiet over here in terms of inbound traffic. We did see a 747 go around and is now flying south of Alphen aan de Rijn, so that is definitely going to attempt another landing at 06. I think maybe that is the last airplane for me for today over here. let's see. Embraer 175 is coming this way, going to Inverness. KLM flight 929. A 6-year-old airplane that had its first flight in May 2017. And you're absolutely right, Michael. Cannot jeopardize the ski trip, that is of paramount importance. But as long as I don't do anything stupid in addition to what I did yesterday, I should be fine. 4 weeks, plenty of time to get it fixed to a degree that it is no longer debilitating. Evelyn already signing off. See you later, alligator. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Right, so as I said, I am going to stick around for the second attempt of the 747 that just went around. We'll be attempting another landing at 06. And let's see, where is it right now? It is now just west of Leiden. It's going to be the number 4. Okay. We'll re-enable digital zoom for the occasion. And thank you, Ewald. Gaat je wel as well. Oh, and Jackie, it's nothing serious. I just bruised my rib in the gym and accidentally made it worse yesterday by leaning on the inflicted side when trying to put some WD-40 on a squeaky clutch pedal in my car. In the gym I did an exercise, the belt squat, and I think I had the belt a little bit too high, and with approximately 150 kilograms or 300 pounds of weight pushing inward via that belt, I must have injured my rib, my lower rib on the right hand side. But then I also tried to put some WD-40 on what I think is a bit rusty or squeaky clutch pedal. And that I shouldn't have done. Because you know you have to lean in and lay on your right hand side to get to where you need to be. Right, now let's see. Frank asks if I got a spare rib. Absolutely. Always got a few laying around if need be. Now I'm thinking that 747 is going to get closer by, will become visible pretty soon. First, let's re-enable the digital zoom. Right. Hey there everybody. Time to quickly turn around the camera. I think the 747 should become visible any moment now. There it is. Second attempt at landing. Cargolux arriving from Miami, Florida. Had to go around, was following the A380. Now, not sure if anybody listened in on ATC and actually heard the reason for the go around, but it was speculated in the chat that it had to do with the A380 not having vacated the runway in time, which is a very likely reason. Anyway, here is its second attempt. Right, the Cargolux has landed. I think we can confirm this. Oh, and that stupid squeaky sound, terrible, apologies for that. I am going to wrap it up now because I am getting pretty cold out here, having been in a freezer for, what is it, 3.5 hours? 3.5 hours already. So I am going to wrap it up, not before scrolling up and saying a big thank you to Snorri, who celebrates 6 months of membership and says good morning everyone. I hope you didn't just tune in just now, Snorri, because I am going to wrap up right now. Thank you all so much for joining me here today, the first new stream of the year. It was a cold one, but a nice one. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next one. Maybe tomorrow, maybe I will check in and see how quickly I can get my camera repaired, because this is getting very annoying and it is going to stay cold for a few more months, so better have it fixed soon then. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. Thanks everyone who was so kind to become a member or gift memberships for your super chats, for your super stickers. If you purchase something from the member store, the merch store, also thank you so much. If you like what you saw and you haven't done so already, don't forget to drop a like. If you want to stay updated of upcoming live streams, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. That is something you do for yourself, not necessarily for me. Thank you all so much for joining me here. Thank you, moderators, for once again keeping the chat friendly and accessible. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next one. And for now, I'm going to say enjoy the rest of your day and weekend, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.